What's going on, guys? We're with our friend here from Unplugged Performance.
Hey, Sean from Unplugged. Want to kind of go over today what your options are. You have a million options for this canvas. It's flat, it's big, it's screaming for, creativity. So let's kind of start with vinyl options.
Okay.
Because color change is going to be one very big thing. Tesla offers a few colors. It's interesting to kind of see them dive into the color change market. We love it. Definitely needs some type of color on here.
Well, before we go in there, is there a difference between just going with Tesla or going with you guys?
So Tesla has kind of some preset options, right?
Yep.
You have a series of, say, 7 colors. They're all going to be paint protection films.
Which is PPF, right?
Yes.
Right.
PPF is going to be paint protection film.
But there's no paint on this.
There is no paint.
But they still call it PPF.
They still call it PPF.
That blew my mind for a while. Okay, all right, gotcha. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, you're okay.
That helps.
Paint protection film, right?
Yep.
Really interesting. No paint. Stainless is going to have much higher tack, right?
Yes.
So the substrate is going to take film very strongly.
Okay.
Paint protection film, PPF, colored or clear, is going to be applied wet. Vinyl wrap is going to be applied dry.
Okay.
It's just an adhesive-backed color. It's going to allow you to do a little bit more than PPF is going to.
Okay.
So PPF, when you apply it, is going to have a little bit lower tack initially, since you're applying it wet. Vinyl wrap's going to tack right away.
Okay.
So it won't be uncommon to kind of see, vinyl wrap trucks have more edges and corners that are covered.
Okay.
Right? So since you can have an initial tack when you lay the film down with vinyl wrap,
Yep.
It's going to be much easier for long-term, wrapping of these corners and these edges. And it's going to allow more of a paint-like finish.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the vinyl wrap.
That's the vinyl wrap. So, downside to vinyl wrap here, it's not going to last as long.
Okay.
So it's going to look good for interim. You're looking anywhere from, 6 months depending on the color,
Ooh,
all the way up to a
short.
few years. I know, but
oh, wow.
living in California in these hotter states,
Okay.
we have a lot higher UV index. So environmental fallout's going to be big. You see all these bugs
Yeah.
and the dirt.
Yep. Road tripping.
These type of environmental fallouts and just day-to-day driving concerns, these wear a lot more on vinyl wrap. So vinyl wrap is going to be significantly thinner.
Yes.
You're going to have anywhere from 3 mil to 4 mil thickness in a vinyl wrap, and the pores are going to be slightly larger. You won't see them, but on the surface of, the clear
wrap,
coat, if you say,
Yep.
they're going to be a bit more, open. So what that means is you're going to need to wash it more. You're going to need to take a little bit more care with it. But that's what it's designed for. It's designed to be able to put on and take off relatively easy.
So now let me ask you, what do customers typically do with wraps? Do they usually like to take things on and take it off within a couple of months, couple of years? What's kind of the trending thing when you notice that people change their color, change their mind, want to spice it up? Because it might not even matter how long it lasts if people are just changing it because they want to change it, right?
Yeah, everyone has a little bit different take on that, right?
Okay.
Content creators love to change it up. So
let's change it up.
Every few months, they'll rip it off and replace it. Others want it more for a longer term color change as an alternative to paint because they want to be able to return a lease, right? Or they don't want to change the DMV registration. For vinyl wrap, since it is removable, you don't have to do any of that. Now, if you're taking care of it, you wrap your full car, you do, say, a ceramic coat on top to help kind of fill those pores in.
Yeah.
It makes washing and maintenance significantly easier. So
nice.
Longer wrap life, right?
Yeah.
If it's parked indoors, it'll last longer. We see some wraps last 5, 6, 7 years if it's taken care of.
Yep.
It all depends on the pH balance of what you will be washing the cars with, how you'll be maintaining them. So it is quite dependent on the owner and the upkeep. So,
and we're still talking about the vinyl, right?
Correct.
At this point, okay.
Correct.
And then just kind of going back to the question I had earlier, because Tesla doesn't do vinyl.
Right.
When you come and you buy the wrap from Cybertruck from Tesla, that's a PPF, right?
Correct. So the word wrap is a little bit too vague in my opinion, right? When you say wrap, years ago it used to be vinyl wrap only was considered a wrap.
Right.
Now you have paint protection film that's being called a wrap. They're significantly different. One is a temporary color change, and the other one is more for paint protection and now color change, right?
That's the PPF.
PPF.
It's the protection and color change.
Yes.
And the wrap is just for a temporary thing.
Correct.
Okay, I'm starting to get this. I'm starting to get this. Okay.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
Like you did there.
Yeah. So let's move from vinyl wrap to paint protection film.
Okay.
Okay. Paint protection film is going to be significantly thicker.
Okay.
2 to 3 times the thickness of certain vinyl wraps.
Okay.
So paint protection film originally was designed for helicopter blades as a safety precaution. Interesting
Wow.
enough. That has developed from that to vehicle paint protection.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to only come in gloss or a satin clear. And that was meant to basically take a gloss paint and convert it to a matte or satin finish, which is going to be a semi-gloss.
Yep.
Standard paint protection films come with a 10-year warranty for clear or satin.
Wow.
Yeah. Then a few years ago, people started to jump into adding color to paint protection film.
Ah, because they wanted the vinyl perks, but the longevity and the protection of the PPF.
Correct.
Okay.
Couple drawbacks to that.
Yeah.
Paint protection film, due to its thickness, does not take certain corners the same way vinyl wrap does.
Right, because you're saying the vinyl can wrap around the edges really nicely.
Yes, much quicker. That's what it's designed to do.
Yep.
Vinyl wrap has a lot more memory to the film.
Oh.
So for example, say you're working on not something with extremely steep corners.
Right.
But say you're working on a standard Model Y, Model X, right?
Yes.
Where you have rounded corners.
Yep.
Vinyl is meant to be stretched around that corner and then shrunk to take the shape of a compound curve.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Paint protection film, while you can kind of stretch it to its limits,
Yep.
since they're normally made with automotive clear coat, if you stretch it too far around a pointed edge,
Yep.
it'll crack. The film will physically look like it is broken into a few pieces.
Oh, wow.
And that's not the urethane style film that you see cracking.
No.
But it is going to be that clear coat layer.
Oh, interesting.
So it's being overstretched
Yeah.
and then shrunk.
Okay.
Right? So paint protection film, you're only going to be able to go around a certain amount of a complex corner.
Oh.
So say you're doing a color change paint protection film
Yep.
on a white vehicle.
Yep.
Okay. It is going to be almost impossible to get the same coverage as you would with a vinyl wrap, just due to the thickness difference between vinyl wrap and paint protection film.
Wow.
That's why it is a little bit harder to sell these paint protection color changes.
Right.
In a sense of a true color change.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you were to put a vinyl wrapped car next to a PPF car in the same color,
Yep.
you'll see a drastic difference.
Really?
Yes.
Is like the opaqueness of it?
Not the opaqueness, but you'll start seeing edges, right?
Okay.
So say you take a red Model X,
Yeah.
right? And you want to wrap it in a yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take yellow vinyl wrap
Yep.
and yellow PPF.
Yep.
Same car.
Yep.
One car will look, as if it were painted, and the other you will tell that there's red shining through on corners and certain edges.
That's a PPF.
That's the PPF.
Because the one that looks like it's painted would be the vinyl because it wraps around it really well.
Correct.
Ah.
Yes, it is designed to go deeper of a coverage just due to its thickness.
So the wrap is a cheaper option. It's a shorter lifespan, but it looks better because it's kind of a more finished product when you wrap it versus PPF.
Yes.
Okay.
For these temporary solutions.
Yeah.
Now, here we do things a little bit different.
Ooh.
If somebody wants to do a color change wrap,
Yeah.
right? Say they say, hey, I see this one specific vinyl wrap color that I love, but I don't want to change it in 3 years or 2 years.
Yeah.
What do I do? Well, it's becoming more and more popular for our clients to vinyl wrap their car and then put paint protection film on top of the vinyl wrap.
Oh, best of both worlds.
Yeah, so what you get is by double wrapping the
Yeah.
car in a sense,
Yeah.
you get the color change coverage that you want.
Right, because it wraps around really nicely.
Yep, and then you get the paint protection coverage from rock chips, UV rays, environmental fallout.
Because the vinyl is not very thick and it has those pores, but you put the PPF on top, gives you that extra protection.
Yep, so you're covering everything.
Wow.
Cover all the bases. Significantly more expensive,
Yeah.
much longer lasting. So when you double wrap it, you get the 10-year warranty of the paint protection film, you get the color you want, you know, best of both worlds.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're spending like 100,000, in this case 136,000 out the door for this Cyber Beast, I want to put the best on this thing. So the best you can go for something like this would be a vinyl wrap to get the color we want and to clear out all the edges, and then PPF. Or is it a little bit different with the Cybertruck versus a regular car?
I would say wrap with PPF is always going to be your best route. Now, that is going to allow you freedom with color or prints, right? Cybertruck loves to take prints, right? We just did a digital camo Cybertruck. Everybody loved it. It works very well because the panels are somewhat flat, right?
Yeah.
They do have a shape to them.
Yes.
Prints help accentuate the lines of the Cybertruck, and I feel like this thing screams, like I said, personality.
Yes.
So doing prints and being able to still apply a paint protection film if you really want something to last 10 years, that's going to be the best way to provide a seamless route, if you will. But we can also go both ways, right? If you wanted to do a colored paint protection film only,
Yep.
the biggest drawbacks are how sharp and steep these edges are going to be. Because of the thickness of paint protection film,
Yep.
some edges hold, some of them don't.
I've seen some people have these edges right here start to kind of pop open with the PPF, right?
Yeah, and that's not so much due to the shape of the edges, but more so the finish, right? So
Okay.
some of the finishing is a little bit more rough than a standard film wants to hold on to, right? So anytime that you wrap over with paint protection film,
Yep.
something that's not completely smooth or rounded, you'll get a small air gap.
We're talking
Okay.
about the inside finish, inside here.
Yes, so right past the face here, right?
Right.
You'll see it gets a little bit more rough.
Right.
And you'll start to see, you know, little gaps and ridges,
Okay.
hills, you know, peaks and valleys.
Okay.
Paint protection film, you would have to wrap significantly further around just for the film to hold.
Yep.
But the film is not designed to take that shape, right?
Ah.
So you'll see a lot of random cuts
Yeah.
and folds, and it doesn't look that great in my opinion.
So if you do the vinyl first, you get the nice fold and cut and make it stick really well.
Yep.
When you put the PPF on top, does it still have to do that cut and shape to that fold, or you don't fold it as much?
We don't fold it as much. We would
Okay.
take it directly straight to
edge.
the face, yes.
Okay.
You're not really getting that much
More protection.
more protection
Okay.
on an edge that is not completely smoothed out.
Yes.
Right? So it's a give and take, and you only really learn this through trial and error. Some people want to see it wrapped as far around as possible. Others don't like seams and folds and weird bubbling.
Yes.
So it's all about education. Normally, general public doesn't know all this.
No,
it's
I
their
had
first
no
wrap.
idea.
Yeah. So the more you know, the better it is.
So if you do the vinyl wrap
Yeah.
and you don't PPF it versus if you PPF it, does it look any different to the naked eye? You look at, can you tell it was PPF double wrapped or not?
It is going to look significantly clearer. It's
Okay.
going to give it more of a paint-like finish.
Oh,
So
okay.
the color is going to look smoother. It's going to look brighter.
It's nicer.
It is nicer.
Okay,
It is
that's
nicer.
good.
Versus if you do standard vinyl wrap, has a little bit more of like an orange peel to it, a little more texture.
Okay.
Paint protection film colored doesn't have as much texture, but again, you have the drawbacks of
Yeah.
seeing some edges and corners.
I don't know if this analogy makes sense. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when we used to be young, we used to go to school, they used to print pictures on paper, and then our teachers would laminate that, and when they laminated it, the colors popped a little bit more and it had a little bit more gloss. Is that how PPF is on top of vinyl?
Yes,
It is?
it is.
Okay.
That's a good analogy.
Wow, I just threw that out of the air. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so, or another good one is if you ever have refinished wood, right,
Yeah.
and you epoxy something.
Yeah, yeah.
The epoxy adds a depth, a hardness, a thickness, and creates a much clearer finish.
I like that look a lot.
Yeah, so that's going to be the huge upside to adding paint protection film onto, vinyl wrap.
So it looks better, it protects better, and you get the nice kind of wrap with the vinyl. Like
Yeah.
the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Sweet,
Definitely.
sweet. And then so if you're going with Tesla again, just kind of wrapping everything around to the beginning of the question is, Tesla has one option, which is like I think $5,000 or $6,000 now. One is clear, one is a couple colors, right? But that's just strictly PPF, and they don't do the vinyl underneath.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have the same issue because they're installers just like you guys, in that when they wrap it, they're going to have to figure out how to wrap around with the PPF, which is kind of thick, right? Yeah.
Correct. I am definitely looking forward to seeing more Tesla wraps on the road.
Yeah.
I know we haven't seen personally that many.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to look great.
Yeah.
It is going to create more questions, right?
Yep.
And it'll be cool to be able to offer thousands of colors. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to start designs. I want to be different, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I came to you guys, because I heard you guys can do custom graphics. And a lot of places I went to, they had so many color options. I got overwhelmed because there are colors that are there for like 8 years. So when I picked my first choice, I talked to one of your guys. He said, "Are you sure you want that color? It looks great now, but it's been played out. It's been around for 8 years." Like, oh no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want something new, something unique. So I'm excited to see what we can do in terms of custom and kind of get this thing looking very unique, special, and the attention it deserves.
Yeah, for sure. And being able to have printable graphics and the expertise that we have, being able to create a lot of depth in our designs, we can add so much personality and, you know, uniqueness to these cars, and they scream it.
Yes.
They need it. They look great from factory, and it'll be cool to see how many people are creative moving on with these different style wraps. So
yeah, I definitely think it's a trend, because I started looking at like wraps from like 5-10 years ago. It was a single color, right? And then I started Googling and searching on TikTok and like asking people what's hot, and they get like really cool branding. They have like a character here, half-bay design. It's definitely not stuff off the shelf. It has to kind of be designed or printed. So I'm super excited to take this futuristic vehicle to the next level with something custom, especially because I have the brand Authentica Vibes. We do design t-shirts and we make graphics for the t-shirts. We want to get our branding on there and make this truck unique and scream our brand, because we want people to know about our brand. And this is like a billboard. So I know a lot of businesses, they buy this specifically as a write-off to market their brand, and having a custom printed Cybertruck screams even more attention. I can't wait, man.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, thanks for the information. Looking forward to talking to you more, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. I'm gonna drop some of the design of what we have in plan for this Cybertruck. It's a rough draft, but guys, let me know, thumbs up or thumbs down. These designs that we got on the screens right now, let me know, should we do that wrap? Because Unplugged Performance, you guys go by Unplugged Performance, right? Or what is the name of your shop?
It's Unplugged Performance and Bulletproof AutoSpa.
There we go. And then you guys are in Hawthorne?
Hawthorne, yep, correct.
So there we go. So if you guys want the best wrap, you guys go to them. We're gonna go with the best wrap we can, because this is not just a Cybertruck, it's a Cyber Beast. We put a lot of money in it, and we want to stand out from the rest. Plus, you know, we want to be able to leverage our Cybertruck to market Authentica Vibes. So let me know what you guys think about the design in the comments down below. All right.